Hi, my name is Akani Simbine, South African 100-meter athlete, and this is Athlètes Mondiaux.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Athlètes Mondiaux podcast. My guest this week is Akani Simbine, the South African record holder in the 100 meters with 9:84. Akani is one of the most consistent sprinters of the last few years, placing in the top 5 in the 100 meters in every single major champ from Rio 2016 to Eugene 2022. Akani still hasn't won any individual medal though. In this episode, he tells us about what he learned from consistently placing 4th or 5th, about the moment he almost gave up, about his false start at the 2023 World Championships in Budapest, and about his relationship with his coach, the only coach he's ever had. Akani and I recorded this episode in late May when we were in Oslo for the Diamond League meet. You're listening to the original interview in English, but the interview is also available dubbed in French if you understand French better than English. Enjoy! Hi Akani, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So we are in Oslo, Norway right now. What do you think 10-year-old Akani would have thought if he'd known you'd be traveling the world like this?
He would tell me that I'm crazy. Running around in the world was not part of the dream. The dream was to actually play football. I only started running when I was 19.
19?
Yeah, I got into the circuit when I was 19. I trained for 2 years with my coach, but at that time I was at school and playing soccer, and soccer was my dream. I wanted to become a professional soccer player. Got to my final year in high school, and then my parents said I need to choose between soccer and athletics because soccer was going well, athletics was going well. And my mom told me that I have more power with athletics because with soccer, you get chosen to be part of the team. And if a coach favors you, he'll put you in a team. Doesn't favor you, won't put you in a team. So I went with the choice where I have the control, and yeah, it paid off very well.
So it was a well thought out decision more than what you really wanted to do.
It was more of, I think, security in a sense. I really wanted to become a soccer player, but there were so many challenges and things that were going to block me in my future to become a football player. So with athletics, things just happened very easily for me. When I started running, I placed second in my first year of running at our national championships. Following year, I then broke the SA Junior record. Then got a shoe company deal. And then it just played out like that. 10 years down the line, I'm here.
But is it always a good thing when things go so well in the beginning?
Yes and no. Because yes, if it all goes well, then you kind of get lost in this facade of everything going well for you. And when something bad happens, you don't know what to do or how to deal with it. And I feel like you have to have challenges to grow as a human, to grow as a sportsman, to grow as a businessman, to grow as a lecturer, whoever you are. Growth comes from struggle. Growth comes from you having to fight yourself out of something, having to learn how to do something, and that's for me, I think, answers your question.
Yeah. But is it now your reaction to things not going your way? Let's say you're disappointed or have a setback. Do you now think, well, this is going to help me grow? I
think how I react to setbacks is more of, I look at it holistically. I look at it, what lessons I need to get from this. In the moments, obviously, I'm going to feel like bummed about it, sad, upset and everything. But that's human. That's okay. Feel it and acknowledge the feeling that you're feeling. But then don't sit in it. Try to get out of it and look at what happened. Why didn't it happen the way it was supposed to happen? What was I supposed to learn from it failing? What was I supposed to learn if it went well? And then work on that. And maybe when you work on that, you'll find that the goal that you set here actually was too low. So I think that's where I feel life helps you grow or helps you become better at what you do. And when you get disappointed, it's more of, let's get the lessons to become better.
Is there always a lesson to learn?
Yes. I feel like there's always a lesson to learn, even if it's the smallest of lessons. Like, example, drinking tea. If I go and boil water, put the tea bag in, put the hot water in, and I immediately go drink, I want to get burnt.
Yeah.
So Now the lesson is wait for it to cool down. So there's always a lesson. Like even like in the simplest of things, I feel like there's lessons, even if it's a very small lesson, it's a lesson.
When you got disqualified from the World Championships last year in Budapest, in the interviews you gave right after getting disqualified, it looked like you weren't really sure you had false started.
Mm-hmm.
Although you were very classy and, were not trying to complain or anything, but looking back now, do you know you false started or is it still unclear?
So according to the rules, yes. The rules say if you move after the gun 0.1, I think 0.100 after the gun, less than 0.100 after the gun, and it's a false start.
Yeah.
So technically, I left after the gun, but I left too fast after the gun.
Yeah.
According to the rules, so, and that is a false start. And to me, it's more of something of saying, okay, like, yes, the rules are the rules. I have to respect the rules. I can't stand in a position and say, no, I'm going to disrespect the rules and disrespect the guys that I'm running against and waste their time by trying to fight with an official that has authority to implement the rules and stick by the rules. So, hey.
Yeah. You could have tried to run under protest.
Yeah, I personally don't believe in running under protest.
Okay.
That's not something I think I would ever do, because I feel like if you broke a rule, you broke a rule. There's a rule here, you broke it. It is what it is. It's harsh and it's tough and everything. And it takes you out of, you've been preparing for this moment. I was in really great shape last year, but I false started and I had to accept it, take it on the chin and move on.
And have you changed anything since then to make sure it wouldn't happen again?
No, we didn't change anything. I think for us, it was more of just me getting back into confidently running and confidently getting out of the blocks and confidently reacting, because that did shake my confidence at the blocks. And I had to get back into training and build that confidence again. And now I'm back and I'm good at it. I'm happy with it.
Okay. Am I right to say you never watched the Olympics until the 2012 Olympics?
Yeah.
And 4 years later, you were in Rio and you got fifth. Is it fifth?
Yeah.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah. Athletics wasn't a thing that I would watch at home. Like, would run at school, yes, and growing up, we still run in the streets with everyone, I was more of, I want to be playing soccer. But in 2012, I had just started running at school and in athletics. And then they said there's Olympic Games. And I remember that year, I just missed out on getting picked for World Juniors. I came third at our national championships and I only took the top 2.
Okay.
And then in my head, I was like, oh, it's Olympic year. I'm running. I'm part of this running group now. Everybody's talking about Olympics. Let's see what happens at Olympics. I watched the Olympics, was amazed by it, watched the 200, and that's the race that actually got me into it, like actually got me loving the sport, I saw what Usain Blake did, and for someone to get that close to Usain Bolt and to run so well against him at Olympics, for me, it was like, wow. And I was like, okay, this is actually pretty cool. Let's work on it. That December, I broke the junior record. The following year, I went to my first World Championships in Moscow. Got knocked out in the first round. But for me, it was the experience of being there. I remember I ran against Gatlin, and Gatlin was in lane 8. I was in lane 5 or something. And he literally just went, boom, I just saw a body fly. And I was like, okay, this is what professional running is like. So I'm going to have to step up my game.
When you ended up racing against these guys you'd seen on TV and you looked up to, do you think you could have beaten them? Or were you more like almost a little boy competing against these idols?
In my first race, my first Diamond League was with people that I actually was watching and did research on, because they were the fastest guys. It was a race, I think Lausanne Diamond League 2014, if I'm not mistaken, or 2015. 2013, 2014, 2015, one of the years. And I was with Justin Gatlin, Asaf Apal, Tyson Gay, and those were like big dogs at that time, and it was like, whoa, okay, I'm running a Diamond League with these guys. Wow, okay, cool. I was late to get on the bus. I got onto the last bus, and in the bus, it was just me, and Tyson Gay, and his coach. And I was sitting at the back, and I was watching Tyson. And I was looking at him, and I was like, okay, this is how a a sprinter looks. This is how a sprinter holds himself, Got into the line. Actually, before I got into the line, warmed up. I literally didn't warm up. I was watching them all warm up. Got to the line, watched the race. I was part of the race, but the race was here. I was here watching them. After that race, I said to myself, you know what? These guys are the same as me. They do everything that I do as a human. They're also human. So why do I have to give them so much power over me as an athlete and come here and already have them defeat me mentally?
Yeah.
So in order for me to get to their level, I have to change my mindset and come to the game ready to fight, ready to defeat them, ready to win against them. And once I got that mentality, I was ready to go into races and put my best foot at the races and not care who's there. You can be running your fastest times and everything, but I don't care. I'm here to give you my best, and you got to give your best in order to beat me.
I think, unfortunately, a lot of people only remember medalists. But to me, what you've done these last few years is just as impressive as someone winning a medal once. Because, well, you got disqualified last year, but until that, you'd always been in the top 5.
Yeah.
Every single year. What do you make of your 4th and 5th places looking back now? Do you see them as failures, or do you see the consistency?
In the moment, yes, it was, why am I getting 4th? Why am I getting 4th? Why am I getting 5th? Why am I getting 4th? But when I look back at it, it was more of kind of, as we're talking about, lessons that I had to learn. I can't just come into this game where I didn't know anything about it and just take a medal from someone that's been running for their whole life. That's a bit weird, But I think of it as a moments where I had to learn about the game. I had to learn about my sprinting. I had to learn about myself. I had to learn about who I am outside of the sport as well, as a human, not just Akani the athlete. Those lessons I took on. Those lessons helped me frame myself as an individual and frame myself as an athlete. And the man sitting here today is not the same person that was sitting here last year or the year before. It's someone that has evolved and changed and grown. And I'm proud of that. And I think it's gotten me to a point where I'm happy with myself and content with myself. And I know I've done really well over the last few years. I've run sub 10 for 10 years back to back. That's really great. Being able to do that, being able to run such a great feat for 10 years currently is really good. But it's just, for me, it's just missing a medal. I've got my Commonwealth Games medal. We've got like a relay medal. We've got, all these things. But for me, individually, it's just a medal. But the medal does not define me. Mm-hmm. If I had to leave the sport now, I'm fine.
Cool.
I'm content, I'm happy, and I'm good. I have a beautiful family, I have a beautiful life, and I'm blessed, and I can't ask for anything else.
So you got 5th in Rio, 4th in Tokyo. We've got the games coming up soon. If you qualify for the final again, do you think it's going to be extra pressure for you, thinking this is your chance? Do you think you'll think about what happened in Rio and Tokyo?
No, I don't go back to past races. I think for me, it's more about living in the moment now. Mm-hmm. I used to be a very pressure-filled person. I used to put a lot of pressure on myself. And now, when I run, man, I'm just running as a free spirit. And I'm running for the moment now. I'm not running for what this race could do for me or what door it can open for me. I'm running now as the kid that was running when I was 5 years old, 4 years old, 6 years old, running against the kids in the street, 7-year-old kid running in the street having fun. That's what I run for now. And that's what gives me the drive to run now, because I feel like we get so lost in this thing of, I need to be Olympic champion, I need to beat everyone, and I need to do all these things so that I can do this, I can get, where at the end of the day, it's like when you sit with yourself, like all the things that you've gotten, are you as a person really happy? I took care of myself first as a person. Before the athlete, before the accolades, before the sub-10s, before the finals, before the sponsorships, me as a human and me as a person, I had to go through those disappointments and those losses to actually get to where I'm at now, talking to you like this, and I'm super grateful for it. So I'm ready for whatever happens, and I'm looking forward to the future, but I'm more looking forward to like just running and enjoying it and having fun with it.
Cool. Your PB is 984.
Yes, ma'am.
Which means you're one of the fastest men ever. Is it something you think about in your daily life? When you are at the supermarket, do you look around you and think, I could beat anyone here?
No, I don't think about that. I just like being just Akani. When I go to the shops and someone recognizes me, they're like, "Oh, let's race. I know I can beat you." And I'm just like, "Bro, like, I know you can't beat me, but like for me, it's like I'm just doing what you're doing. You're at the shops, like, just be normal. I get why you're doing it. I understand it and all, and I'll give you the picture and I'll talk to you and everything. But for me, it's more of not letting that get to my head, but more of, let's say, guys, let's treat each other as humans. We are the same. We are equal. Because of my successes, I am not greater than you. I'm not better than you. I'm the same as you. And I want you to see me like that.
Do you think everybody on the circuit has the same mindset?
No.
I'm not asking you to name names.
No, I don't think so. I think everybody has their own way of dealing with things and handling things. And for me, I think that plays the best part of it. I enjoy it that way because life is not about your accolades. At the end of the day, life is more of who you are as a person and your realness as a person to other people. And we're all humans. We're all going to die. And let's just be good to each other.
So who are you when you're not Akani the sprinter?
I'm my parents' son, first and foremost. I'm a husband. I'm a father to beautiful kids. I'm a brother to my sister. That's who I am, and I love being those things because that's where I get my fuel from. That's where I get my cup filled from. I'm a family person. I enjoy being with my family. I love being with my family, and they are very proud of me, and they're proud to see me running and doing well and everything. But when I go to them, I can just take a break, and just be me. Not an extrovert, I'm an introvert, and I like being calm and relaxed and just in spaces where I feel safe, spaces where I feel loved and, appreciated and just where I can be real.
And I guess, although your family and loved ones want you to succeed because they know you're training really hard, they don't really care if you get a medal or get fifth. I mean, if you get fifth, they'll be disappointed for you, but they will love you no matter what.
Yeah, my family loves me no matter what. No matter what happens, they'll love me. They'll support me. If I say I want to stop running, they'll support that. If I say I want to do this or A or B, they'll support that, And they are the people that I go to advise to. I trust what they say. I trust their knowledge. I trust their intuition. They're able to be real with me and tell me the truth and not think, it's Akani, and look at me in the sense of I'm the athlete, but they look at me as the person and the family member.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever wanted to give up?
Yes, definitely.
Often?
No, one time. And I think that was like the time when I hit rock bottom, like Olympics 2021. Yeah, I think that year was my worst year ever. It was a year where I had framed my identity and everything that was me to winning a medal at Olympics and to being the athlete 100%, and in that journey, I lost me. I got disappointed, and when I got disappointed, the me wasn't there. The athlete was disappointed and there was no me to go back to. This was saying to me, okay, I don't know what else I can do without track. I don't know what else I can do without the medal that I was supposed to get, and I didn't get the medal. And now that led me going into depression. A very, very bad state, and I didn't want to do this thing anymore. Like, I didn't want anything to do with the running. Usually, before I start my season, I'd set goals for the next season and stuff, and I didn't. I literally started my new season, just went into it because I had contracts that I was obligated to live up to, so I was just running because of that. So my 2022, was for me a very bad year because of the fact that I was coming off of the disappointment of 2021 and then depression, and then I started 22 not in a good state, But in that journey, that was when I found myself again. I did therapy. I am a very big advocates of therapy because I feel like that's something as people that's something that we need. We need an outlet, you know, and that had helped me to find myself and to kind of rebuild Akani and find what Akani loves and find out what Akani likes to do and what he enjoys doing, you know, and not what the athlete Akani likes. You know, the athlete Akani is there. You know, he'll be there until he retires. But after retirement, who's there? Who's left? So I think I needed that lesson, like we're going back to lesson. I think I needed that lesson. The lesson behind it was don't get lost in what you're doing and lose yourself in what you're doing, because at the end of the day, what you're doing is just a moment. Who you are as a human is something that's going to last forever.
I find it interesting that you see yourself as two different entities. Have you always felt like that?
No. I've always tried to be one, but I think with track and with my identity as me outside of track gives you an alter ego, which creates a new identity. And I think that alter ego is not, if you had to put me outside of track, and that's two different people. You know, it's two different people that enjoy different things and in different moods. You know, track Akani is a very focused, very motivated and very quiet, like very, very, very quiet. I don't speak when I'm in that zone, you know, and the Akani is Akani, you know, I'm chilled, I'm calm, you know, I'll talk here and there, laugh. My wife says I'm super funny, you know, which I don't understand. You know, my family, my parents always say I'm funny, but I don't get that, you know. But those are two different entities, like someone that's so funny and someone that is so serious and ready to go, you know, fight and ready to go run very fast, you know. It's two different things.
Okay. How do you measure success?
How do I measure success? I think for me, success comes in yourself first. Like who you are as a person first. If you're happy with yourself, if you're fulfilled as yourself, you can be successful, super rich, not be happy. So for me, it's more about the inner you first. If the inner you is happy, is content, then everything else outside will look brighter. Life will be happier, you know, and you will exude happiness. And, you know, when people talk to you, they'll be able to feel good energy from you. And if you're able to give good energy to someone, they can give good energy to you. And it plays back and forth.
Very inspiring interview. Going back to training, in the months and weeks leading up to a big competition, how do you gauge where you are in your training? How do you know you're doing the right things?
I think it's more of looking at what coach is doing well and also just trusting his program.
Okay.
I trust coach and his program a lot, you know, so I don't really think about where I'm at right now. It's more of training, coaches, I'm going to go race. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go race. I'll see what happens at the race. Race, get the result. And then we're like, oh, okay, cool. We're here, coach. Okay, let's go back to training. Keep on working. Whatever we need to do, we do. We do it again. You know, like last week when I was in Atlanta, didn't know I was going to run 990. I literally thought I was going to run like 99 high. You know, and we went 990, having a few little technical things here and there and, you know, switching off at the end of the line and whatnot. You know, so it gives me confidence, but it also says, okay, go back to training, do what you need to do, and add on to what you have now. And then trust coach. When coach says it's time to race, you go race again, you do it again.
You've had only one coach. Why do you think it's working so well for you guys?
I think, one, he's a great guy. He's a super guy, and he's someone that understands me. Coach is someone, him and I are very alike, and he knows when to talk to me, when not to talk to me. He knows, like, we've grown to know each other. He's like my longest relationship, you know, so, but I have a lot of respect for him, man, and a lot of love for him, man. He's done so much for me as an athlete and as a person, and I think we work well together because we started this journey together. When I started, he was also just still a young coach. He didn't know how to get onto the circuit. He's never been on the circuit before. I was his first athlete to get onto the circuit. And we figured the circuit out. We figured professional running, how it actually works out together.
I'm going to ask you the question I ask all of my guests. This podcast is called ATHLÈTES Mondiaux, which is French for Athletes of the World, because what I love the most about track and field is that it is a truly universal sport.
Yeah.
what do you love the most about track and field?
One, you and yourself are running against yourself, first and foremost. You have a control of what you do at training. You are in charge of your destiny because you're the one that prepares yourself to go to training. You're the one that prepares yourself to go to a race. You're the one that runs. And the results that you get are from what you did. It's not from anybody else, and the fact that we all around the world get to come together to actually show our talents and show the work that we've done. It doesn't cut anyone out. You can do what I'm doing. You can do it in China. You can do it in America. You can do it in Europe. You can do it in Africa. You literally do the same things that we're doing anywhere in the world. It's just a sport that does not gatekeep, I think. If you're really good and you're talented and you run fast, you'll get a lane. It's not about how much money you have or who you're connected to. It's literally just your pure talent, what you put into your training, and you running fast, or you jumping high, or you jumping long, or throwing far, or anything, that's what gets you here. And I think the name of your podcast makes sense because we are athletes of the world and we are doing something so natural, but we're coming together to do it against each other and to push each other to be better and to be the best that we can be.
What do you want to tell the people listening? Young people, maybe young athletes who maybe love running, but they're not quite sure if they want to go pro or if they just want to keep running just for fun, who might be struggling. What do you want to tell the young generation?
I think the young generation must just go out there and just don't stop, don't give up on what you want to do. For me, I've been a very resilient athlete. I've been a very non-giving up athlete. I place fourth, and I've been coming back every year to come back and place fourth again, and I think one thing they can take from me is that I never gave up and I don't ever give up, So if you have a dream, you have a goal, set yourself to it and don't give up. There will be a breakthrough at the end of the day. I have this image where there's two miners in a cave. The top miner is digging, and the bottom miner is also digging for diamond. Then the bottom one decides to stop and turns around. But that time, if he had continued just to hit the ground 2 more times, he would have found big diamond. The other guy at the top is continuing digging, and the diamond is further on. So that to me says, just don't give up. Keep on digging. Keep on pushing yourself.
Before we wrap it up, can you tell us about the work you do in South Africa? Is it a foundation you have?
Yes. So I have a foundation we are called My Desk Global. So what we do is that we manufacture these bags, but they're trolley bags that turn into a desk and a chair and a bag. Then we reach out to people, companies, to try to get donations and so that we can give to the unfortunate kids in rural areas or townships, because one thing that we figured out is that there's a stat that says that if a student has access to a desk, a chair, a light, because our chair does have like a portable solar light, and just an area of learning, it improves their ability to learn by, I think, more than 50%.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't have those things, they're not going to learn. That is something that we're trying to combat. It's something that I really believe in a lot, and I really hope that more people get onto it and more people support, because it's a really big thing. It's not something that we are doing to benefit from. It's more of helping the next generation and getting the next generation have an opportunity to learn, have an opportunity to do what we're doing. If you're fortunate enough to go to a school with a desk and a chair, now you have your own to go to school with it, to go home with it. Your workspace is with you all the time. So that should help you push yourself to become the next leader, to become the next scientist or whoever you become, But I feel like we need to also help where we can help, and that's what we do.
Do you want to add anything?
No, I think I've said too many.
No, that was great. That was really interesting. What I want to do with the podcast is to share people's stories. And it's not just about training or medals or PBs. So no, that was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Please check the link in the description if you'd like to support the My Desk Global Initiative. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I'll be back soon with another episode. Bye-bye.